Hi there, welcome to drawing demo number 4, and in this demonstration I show how I kinda use the Loomis method as a starting point for my drawing, which I then check against my reference and do the corrections. This drawing did not go so well, so hopefully you'll enjoy watching me struggle. Another head drawing, and this time we'll draw a female head. I'll start with a basic Loomis construction, and if you're not aware of Loomis, it comes from this book, Drawing the Head and Hands by Andrew Loomis. And I mean, here's a typical page where you see it starting with a sphere and dropping a vertical off it, drawing the jawline, breaking up into thirds, and putting the features within that construction. And as he says here, every head anyone draws depends on construction just as much as every building, every car, every other three-dimensional object does. And that's kind of the idea we'll be doing here. However, I found that it's good to start with Loomis, but Loomis is not the be-all and end-all, because you end up drawing, or I ended up drawing, very generic heads, and they also looked a little bit stiff, if I'm honest, a little bit mechanical. So I start with the basic ideas of Loomis, but then I stray more into what it is that I actually see in the face that I'm drawing. So let's put 10 minutes on the clock, and off we go. So we start with our circle just as Loomis prescribes, and then we drop a vertical off it, which gives us our center line of the face. Now you can see how her chin and muzzle area is pushed quite forwards. Now Loomis would draw that straight down and then maybe make an adjustment for that, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that center line further forward from the get-go. I'm then going to put in what I think is the jawline, so that I come up with, it's almost like a sort of skull shape, but it's a skull shape with a bit of flesh on it, as opposed to drawing the skull and then putting a sort of layer of flesh on it. So also sort of push it out towards the top for the hair as well. And this is such a strong line. What happens if I put that in? Because that should help me get to here and help me see this as an overall shape. So let's lighten my lines because it's getting messy. And now that I've got a rough idea of the size of it, let's try and get a little bit more definite with our positions. Now I've already strayed a fair bit. In fact, I've strayed so much. Let's take that off again. Let's go back to our center line, and then let's put the eyebrows in next, I think. So I know that I'm going to go larger than this, as in larger than here, because this distance is nowhere near large enough. Let's just drop that down a little bit. So this is what Loomis is on about with getting the construction right. As you can see, I didn't get the construction right, and now I am feeling the pressure of time a little bit. But she has such a lovely face. Let's see if we can do it justice, shall we? By doing it a little bit larger, which means it will go onto the drawing above just a little bit. It's okay. I'm sure he won't mind. It's all down to what's the object of this exercise? The object of the exercise is to just do a head drawing. If we can get a likeness, that's a bonus. That's icing on the cake. But the cake is just the act of drawing. Her hair is so prominent, I think, that it's worth putting it in at quite an early stage. Good news of long hair, we don't have to find the position of the ear necessarily. We have to kind of know it's there, but we don't have to find it. Let's lighten those lines a little. And let's go again. Right, so this is about refinement. now, isn't it? So there, let's get that nose, which means that this cheek needs to come out further. Underplane of the nose, because we can see the underside of the nose. Right, so always worth that if the mouth pushes out a lot, I find it's worth putting a new sort of construction line in from the base of the nose. So we know we can get that curvature in place. Selective viewing, looking at this area, disregarding the top lip, disregarding the bottom lip. Where is that most important central line compared to the nose, compared to the chin? I'm going to take the chin down a little bit more. So there's the top lip, and now the bottom lip. So having drawn that in place, it didn't look like it was in the right position to me, and looked like it needed to go back a little and up. Okay, compared to the eyes, that looks in a better position now.
5 minutes remaining.
Wow, that went quick. I say that on every video, don't I? Okay, the shape of the nose I just got wrong. Now slow down just a little bit. Try and make fewer marks and make them better. So where the eyes, about there. Right, this cheek comes out nicely and it's about level with the bulb of the nose. Oh, I've got the shakes. Okay, that's not in the right place. The head is going back further. Yeah, that feels nice. So it's just a little bit high, maybe. We're only talking a millimetre, but at this scale, as I've said previously and elsewhere, a millimetre is a lot. Okay, we have 3 minutes to go. And I've still got to draw the eyes. Right, that is much closer there. So, corner of the eye there, corner of the eye there. It's going to there and here. I'm not convinced about that. Doesn't feel right. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, 2 minutes.
No, those eyes are not correct. Even if I have to go over the time, let's get those eyes correct. I drew a line and then I ended up putting them above that line, not sort of on that line, because that line was really the eyes of the pupils. So yes, not my best drawing I've ever done this, but hopefully you will learn from it, just like the intention is that I will learn
Last minute.
from it. Okay, I think we're not far off now. I think I've just got to put everything in place to try and hit the 10-minute mark.
"30 seconds.
Right, let's get this in. Let's draw that down to there. Here. There. The neck will be here. Back of the head here.
Finished."
Whew. Okay, so where can I see I'm immediately wrong? I'm going to steal a little bit of time because I can see that that should be further down. I lost time getting the eye wrong, or the eyes wrong. And that is too short, I think. Okay. Because this was too short, it made that too short. Raising this makes this look, or made that now look too short because it's an overall shape. Okay, what was that? A minute over the 10, something like that. I mean, let's have a look at it, because like I say, the object of the exercise is doing one's best and then marking it and finding out where we went wrong for the next time. So let's compare what we've got. So let's put it into overlay mode and align our reference with our drawing. Freeze the camera so it's close enough. I'll tell you what, I'll put it up here so you can see how I align the two. It's not very aligned at the moment, so I take two thumbs, work with the image and align it as best as I can with the lines of the drawing. And I can immediately see I did not do very well at all. So what did I miss? Well, the features are roughly in the right place, but the lips needed to be fuller. The eyes needed to be larger. I'm just wondering, could I make the... Yes, if I make the reference slightly larger, I don't know, if I made it smaller, it would align the eyes a little better. But not a great deal. Yeah, Okay, let's go with that. And so now let's mark the work. Where did I get good? Where did I get bad? And there's a fair bit wrong all over the place with this one. It felt rushed when I was doing it. I don't mind admitting. But as I found with a lot of these sort of tuition videos, maybe you'll learn more from me making an absolute howler of it, rather than if I do everything perfect. Because actually we learn from our mistakes. As I always used to like to say, a child learns to walk by falling over a lot. So the mouth was in the right place, but needed to be a lot fuller. That eye worked out quite nicely. Yes, it should come in more like that and get closed off, but it worked out quite well. The eyebrows, a little bit higher. So let's get rid of the bottom line of that. Now that eye was quite a way out. So, where were we? There, there. This did more like that. The hair wasn't so bad, but the back of the head was exactly right where I had it. And you hate it when you make a correction and actually it was right before. So this was down there. And this was there. As you can see, I wasn't that far out. It was only like a couple of millimeters, but that's the sort of level of accuracy which I'm trying to work to anyway. Another head done, another bit of experience in the bank, and we move on to the next one.